Hey gang, welcome to Ethics and Professional Issues. My name is Taylor Randolph, and I will be your professor, your instructor for this semester. I'm looking forward to getting to know each one of you a little bit better. Just wanted to give you this introduction to kind of get you to hear a voice and see a face. So when you see me typing and you see the words come up, you can connect these images and sounds with the words. Sometimes if I see an author speak and I read a book, then I hear kind of like in Morgan Freeman words. You just kind of hear them coming across. So in that sort of way, I hope to help you know kind of who's behind the terminal that way. Welcome to class. I'll go through our PowerPoint here and get just do some brief introductions of myself and then give you some parameters for the course. So this gives you my background. I did post a little bit of this Vita in my introduction for you all to look at online. You're welcome to consult that too. I am a PhD student here at Adams, so I'm a student teacher, so to speak. This is my second year. I'm finishing up my second year for a PhD in counselor education. I have been instructing for quite a while, since 2013, at a university called Northwestern Oklahoma State University. And so you can kind of look at my Vita right there. What would help me with teaching ethics would be my professional experience. I spent from the year 2000 to the year 2016 in practice, and at least half of that was spent in supervision, and not necessarily full administration, but counselor supervision, clinically directing a large agency, and also working at a pediatric psychiatric hospital. I encountered a lot of different ethical situations, and so I'll draw upon them on those experiences and memories to help us, at least from my perspective, navigate. But I do like our text. Our text looks pretty good. I've had a chance to look through it and peruse it, and it should be very valid. Coming from where I was in the field, I would say it's very relatable and realistic. So it's not just some heady theoretical stuff that doesn't really apply. No, that actually applies pretty well. So just you're welcome to look through my Vita, and again, you're welcome to ask questions at any time. Email me, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have. Just to give us some parameters, I do address this on the syllabus, but do be respectful. I know this comes without saying at this point in your Adams education, but use professional language when you communicate online. It's not like Twitter or Facebook. You are trying to communicate professionally, so take your time. A lot of what you do in this class will be responding to discussion board posts, and I'm sure this isn't your first rodeo, but if it is, please be respectful, use professional language, use citations when you can so other people can reference where you're coming from with your ideas, and try not to use like irony or sarcasm too much. And if you do, make sure you put LOL or make sure people know you're joking, because sometimes sarcasm online comes across very poorly. And be proactive in your communication. Should something come up where you are struggling, or maybe have some life circumstances happening, please contact me. Please let me know so we can work through that together in a good way. Sometimes when people get behind, people assume the worst. So just know that. This is a class on ethics, and I've found this analogy to be applicable in numerous circumstances. So, and I've used this in working with supervisees and other people that are, interested in ethical situations. When we encounter ethical situations, I like to equate it to a lot of times a drowning person. So in that counseling relationship, people are coming to us for help. People are coming to us because they're hurting, and sometimes they're in crisis. So as you're looking at this image, consider what's your emotional response to this person apparently thrashing in the water, has this angst-ridden look on their face. Um, what might be if you were on a boat looking at this person, what might be your natural tendency, especially us in the helping field? What might be our tendency? Moving on. Considering that first image and looking at this one, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling? What emotions are coming up for you? What thoughts? You got some folks kind of looking on, and a guy casually tossing a life preserver out into the water. So you can try to maybe imagine some situations where that might apply. So think about that. What about this one? So you've got the guy thrashing in the water. What about this one where the person's jumping in, no life preserver, going off the front of the boat? Um, I've seen a lot of young professionals assume this role, assume a role where I'm going to put on a cape and I'm going to go save somebody. I'm going to save the world, and I admire that. I admire that people want to. That's a noble thing to do what we're endeavoring to do, which is to go help people in vulnerable situations. However, what problems do you see here with this? Try to consider those. I'm not going to give the full answers. I'm just going to have you think about it. Ideally, let me move this down. Ideally, what should happen? So think about that. If you've got the person thrashing and you're on a boat, do you dive in? Do you stay on the boat? Do you throw them a preserver? Do you have other people on the boat with you? So we'll use this analogy. I think it will come in handy when we come to certain situations in the class where we come up with ethical dilemmas. Okay, this is, I'll give you a look at the syllabus. This is our course syllabus right here. And if I can pull it up, I've still got it you'll have it in a PDF. This is the actual Word document. It's very long. It's as most syllabi are here at Adams. It's about 15 pages long. I want to detail the assignments. So everybody's already interested in, okay, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to pass the class? So there are three or four really main things that you have to do. So here they are on page 4 of the syllabus. Number 1 is class participation. As I talked about earlier, the discussion board posts are your primary way of attending class. So you have to respond at least 3 times a week. There is a mandatory date. You have to respond by Thursday, or automatically you're sacrificing 2 points. That's necessary. Please know that discussion boards will open, the modules will open on Monday at midnight. So very first thing Monday throughout the week until Sunday at midnight. That's when our course is going to be deployed. So you'll have those several days to respond. Please respond your initial post prior to Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Then you'll need to respond a couple other times after that to peers. That way we have engaging, and not everybody's waiting till the end. I'm going to wait till Sunday night at 10 to post all my 3 discussion board posts. You won't earn full credit if you don't meet that Thursday deadline. There's some rubrics in here too, so look through this. Please do your diligence to figure out what's required by reading through all this stuff. Your interview, you'll be required to interview a counselor. That comes up relatively quickly. That is due in February. And so you'll want to find a counselor who's currently practicing, reach out to them, and then ask them these 4 questions. You'll want to, you're welcome to do it via video, telephone, or in person, but you need to have a dialogue with them. And then obviously write down or record their responses. And then you'll write down kind of your thoughts, your summary. Again, there's a rubric to consult for that assignment. You'll have a book to read, and I'm reading this with you. I've not read this yet, so we're all in the same boat, so to speak, with this assignment. This is called "Lying on the Couch." Uh, Irving Yalom, a psychiatrist who's practiced for many, many years, wrote this. Should be an engaging book about numerous ethical violations. I read the first few pages. It looks like it's going to involve a sexual relationship. So that tends to pique human curiosity. Anytime you throw, a sexual uh, curve into the situation. So hopefully this is an engaging book. We'll all be in it together, reading it, and I'll read your responses. So please look at the parameters and the rubrics for this assignment as well. It's worth 20 points. I believe it's due in March. I believe it's due toward the end of March. Um, Also, an ethics final paper. That's due our last day of class. So I would encourage you to, wait a little bit. Don't do this like your first week, because you want to go through the ethics course first before you reflect on this. But do make sure that you get it done, because it's worth quite a few points. And so you have 150 points total for the whole class. That should be laid out for you in the assignment section on Blackboard. Do have a couple of books. This Wellful book, again, like I alluded to, like I said, it appears to be a good and valid representation of what you'll encounter in the field. Let me see if I can get the first page. Yeah, ethics in counseling. Oh, that's different. Well, let's get out of that one. That's not working out too well for me. We'll go back to the syllabus. Anyway, as you can see, I have the digital edition. Either one works. The digital or hardback, the hard copy edition works. Please look through the expectations. Please read through the syllabus in its completion. I have a diversity statement in there, and here's our tentative schedule. You'll have a syllabus agreement due by Sunday at midnight. That's your first assignment. Please make sure you jump on that and get that done. Basically saying that you've read through and understand the syllabus. There's the interview with the counselor paper due the 17th. The lying on the couch paper due the 31st of March. And then the ethics final. And here are the actual rubrics. So this is where I'll go into detail on what you have to accomplish in each one of those assignments. And there's the grading rubric right there. So it's at the end of the syllabus. Let me see, what else do I have? I don't think I have too much more. So rather than waste your time watching me, jump in, read the first chapter, jump on the discussion board. See what you can do. See if you can make any progress on responding before Thursday, since that's our big day. And reach out to me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you online, and I hope you have an enjoyable time this semester. See ya.